Right, so this is a continuation of our blazer jackets. Now I have all the front parts joined together, all the pieces joined together, just like you can see the side piece, the center piece has been joined together for the front, and also for the back you can see how beautiful it's looking. I also did the same to my lining. I joined all the pieces together, and so what I will do now is I will join my front piece and back piece together. And also I have my sleeves here. I've joined the sleeve, both the sleeves and the lining. So what I will do next is go to the machine, join the shoulder of the two, join the shoulder and the bodies of the two together separately. Okay, so I have it here joined. So my front is my main fabric is here fixed. I've joined the side too using the measurements we use in cutting it. Same thing with the lining. You can see how it is. And remember that we have our lining shorter than the main fabric. Do you remember? So what I will do next is to each of the the main dress and the lining, I will fix my sleeves. I'll fix the sleeves separately, just like we did. We are sewing them separately because we are using turn in lining to method of lining to sew it. So I'm fixing the sleeve to the main piece, main dress, and also to the lining. Yes, I have them fixed right now. You can see how it is. The next thing we are going to do now is we'll join the lining to the main fabric. Do you see how it is? So but before we do that, while we're drafting it, remember we had a 2.5 inch mark. Do you see it? So I'll just make sure that I'll place it in such a way that it will face each other so that I can have them notch. Sorry guys, I didn't see that camera. Okay, now I have it. So at that center, I'm going to notch it. So that's like 2.5. I'm going to notch it, and then after I notch it, I will measure what I have left from that notch part to the area, okay, the part that is not notched. So just see the way I place my tape rule. So I place my tape rule from the notch side of one part to the notched part of the other side. Can you see the way I'm measuring it? Okay, so I have 17 inches here. I want to be sure I have the same thing on the lining also. So just like I notched the main dress, I'm going to face each other. I'm going to face the two sides with each other, just like I did to the main fabric, and then measure 2.5 and notched it. So after notching it, just like I measured the main dress also, I will measure it to be sure that we have the same thing. So if they are not equal in this, right now we can adjust it. After measuring it, I got like 18 inches, which is like 1 inch wider than the main fabric. So I had to adjust it at the center so that I will have the same thing. So after that is done, the next thing we are going to do is cut our collar. Remember that we only have the lapel cut together with the dress. Now to my collar, I have my gum stay. I'm using my paper stay to measure it, to draft it. So I have it folded into two. So here I have 9 inches. That's unfold, right? So I'm marking out the 17 inches by marking out 8.5. You remember it's unfold. Okay, so I have 8.5 marked out, just as you can see. The next thing I'm going to do is from that base, from the base, I'm going to measure 3 inches upward and then mark it to the other end, mark it at the other end too, and join the 2 points together, just as you see me doing. So what I'm going to do now is join the 2 points together, and then after this has been done, I'll take my tape rule again and then measure the center of the 8.5 inches. So I will have like 4.25 thereabouts. Okay, so I'm going to mark it, and then from there, from that 4.2 inches, I will come to the other side and mark 1 inch. Do you see what I'm doing? And then take my cuff ruler. So from that 4.2 inches, the midpoint that I found, I'll connect to the edge of the marking, just as you see me do. Do you see? So the next thing I'm going to do is at that side that you see my tape rule, I'm going to come out by ½ inch and then make a new connect in a slanted manner. Do you see? So that is how to cut a collar. I'm going to cut it out right now and then use it to cut my fabric. Okay guys, I have my fabric cut out, just as you can see. Next thing I'm going to do is go to my pressing table and then iron the state to the cloth. And after that, go to the sewing machine and then sew the sides to get the two sides. Okay, so I have it here. Now, can you see how it is? You see the way I sew it? Now I'm going to turn it and then make sure that there is no fold inside. So that's why I'm going to use my screwdriver to just choke it in for it to come out proper. But in doing this, you must be careful so that you won't hurt the clothes. So after this has been done, the next thing we'll do is find the midpoint of the collar and the midpoint of the dress. And then from the notch part, right, you are going to start pinning it to the other side of the notch part. Of course, it will accommodate it all. I'm just trying to put it first to be sure. So now that we are sure that it will go round, I'm going to place it facing, you see that edge? I'm going to place my collar the way it's facing each other. It will face the front, the side part will face each other, and then the opening parts will be the one up now. So I will start by pinning them together with my lining. Do you see the way it's facing? So the collar is at the center of the lining and the main dress, and then after I've pinned the edge, I'm going to start pinning it to the notch part and then all the way down to the other side. Now I hope you understand how it's being done. So I'm just going to pin it all the way down to the other side of the notch part, just as you see me doing it. Okay guys, right now I'm done pinning. Just as you can see, I've pinned all the edges together. I'll just go down to my sewing machine and then sew it round at the neck. Do you see it? Now guys, we have it fixed now. Next thing we are going to do is just to pick my scissors and then notch the sewn part, you get. And in notching it, you must be very careful so that you will not cut what you've sewn. So I have that done. The next thing I'm going to do now is just draw my lining. Remember that the main dress is longer than the lining, so I'm going to draw it down and then sew. I have done that. So the next thing we are going to do now is I'll remove the main fabric sleeve. I'll just turn it out just as you see me do it, and then the lining sleeve, I'm just going to tuck it into the sleeve. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm just going to tuck it in for us to have it flat and be able to join the sides of the dress together, of the jacket together. So what I did to the other side is what I'm doing now. I'm going to draw the sleeve out so that we'll have the wrong side of the sleeve, and then we'll then tuck in the lining of the sleeve into it in this manner. So by the time you have it this way, it will be so easy for you to join the side. So I'll go to machine and then sew the side. In sewing it, you must start the sewing from the neck side, because remember that the lining is shorter than the dress. So this is the aftermath of the sewing. Do you see it? That's the result of the excess allowance we added while drafting it. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I made an opening at the center. I'll just dip my hand inside it and then use it to turn the whole dress. The main excess of putting that opening is for it to be easy to be turned. Do we get? So I'm just going to turn everything out and make sure that there is no fold or anything. So the next thing I'm going to do after this is go to my pressing table and then iron every edge out so that we'll have it neat, and then we'll, now that we have our dress ready, the next thing we are going to work on is our sleeves. So what we'll do is dip our hand, you will dip your hand inside that hole. Do you see what I'm doing? And then draw out the lining, the sleeve lining. You will also do the same to the main fabric, to the main sleeve. And then we have the two on their wrong side, both the lining and the dress. Now just watch what I'm doing. I'll just face the lining, the right side of the lining to the right side of the fabric. Do you see what I'm doing? And then I will pin it round so that by the time we sew it, we'll be able to remove our sleeves out and also have it sewn inside with no sewing showing outside. Do you get? So I removed the two sleeves, the lining sleeve and the main sleeve, and draw them to their wrong side. By the time you draw them out from that hole, you have them at on their wrong side, and then you will make the front side of the lining to face the front side of the sleeves. I hope you are getting me. And then you pin it round. By the time you pin it round, you will see how it will give you a way. It will give you way to sew it already. So let's just finish pinning it. So I think that's the last pin now. We'll pin the last side, and then by the time you pin it, do you see how it is? Okay, so you just turn it in a little. Do you see the way I'm turning it in? Just turn it in a little. By the time you do it this way, it will be easy for you to place on the machine and then sew. So you just sew it round like that. So we have it sewn now. Do you see the sewing? So now that it is sewn, you just have to dip your hand into the sleeve at the front. Do you see it? And then draw it out. After drawing it out, do you see the way we have it? My hand is out and everything, and so very neat. I've done the same to the other side of the sleeves too. Yeah, our dress is getting ready and it's looking beautiful already. I'll just go to the pressing table, iron it well, and then come back to show you what needs to do. Now we have it ironed. Can you see everything is taking its proper shape? Now to our opening, what we are going to do is take this Emmy gum. Do we all know this gum? Just cut a little and then insert it inside. Just as you see me doing it, you insert it inside and make sure that there's nothing coming out so that it will not stain your iron. So after that has been done, you just carry your iron and press it down. So by the time you do that, you'll have your jacket very neat, very, very neat. So I'm just going to iron it now. Guys, if you are still to this time watching this video, I'm very sure you got value watching it. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel if you have not. Make comments if you have any question, ask question. I'm always willing to answer or respond to your request. Thank you everyone for staying true to the end of this video. I'm very sure you love the jacket, and this is the final look of the jacket. Very, very beautiful, right? Okay, so guys, we have come to the end of this video, and I'm very, very happy to have this beautiful jacket. Guys, see you in my next tutorial. Bye, 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 bye for now.